Okay, so the RENPHO eye massager, it's my new best friend, but it wasn't without some bumps in the road along the way. If you're watching this, you already know what this does. You've probably seen how it works. I mean, there's only a few buttons on it, so I'll skip over that. Long story short, yeah, it's relaxing and it feels good. However, there's two things that you need to know, or else your experience is just going to be ruined, like mine almost was, and like my wife's experience almost was. And the first thing is you need to give these things a chance. So my first time using them for the first, it's a 15-minute session. In my first 10 minutes, I was pretty freaked out because you're like, oh my gosh, there's pressure on my eyes. Nothing should be pushing my eyeballs. And so I was tense. But then about 10 minutes into it, suddenly it felt really good. I was really relaxed. So it's worth pushing through. For my wife, the first time didn't even feel good. She had to wait until the second session she did the next day, and then it was super relaxing. So give it a few tries if that's what it takes, because once you get to that point where you kind of trust it and you relax, it feels very relaxing, and I feel like I can just fall asleep right afterwards. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, move it around on your face. Here, I'm going to put this on. I'll probably look a little goofy. Haven't even seen what I look like with it on. When you first start it, don't be afraid to adjust it up or down, even if it feels like it's lower or higher than it should be, because in my experience, you don't want it pushing directly on your eyeballs. You want it pushing around your eyeballs. And when I first put it on, it was pushing on my eyeballs, and that was freaking me out. So I just moved it to where then it wasn't, and that also helped improve the experience. So those are the two things you need to know. But once you learn those two things, work out the kinks, get used to it, I think it's totally worth it. At least for someone like me who has a decent bit of stress in their day-to-day life, I have grown to really love this thing because it helps me calm down, de-stress, and even helps me sleep. So go ahead and try it. I don't think you'll regret it because I definitely don't.